You ready? Okay. This is the last in a series that we've been working on for the month of July about getting back to the basics of the pure essence of what God is and who I am. So we've had a lot of fun playing with this, yes? We've been watching our I am statements. I know when we were rehearsing yesterday, and I said, I am offbeat. David Farner said, you are experiencing a different tone or a different, whatever. You know what I'm saying. So a lot of us are really aware of what we're calling forth with our language and our words. I want to start with the scripture that Spirit gave me. I just opened up my Bible and there it was, and they said, that's your Sunday talk. And I said, I am with that. Okay. Jesus is in Samaria, and he has been going through Samaria. They're on their way to Galilee. And the people started saying, no, stay and talk to us, stay and talk to us. They wanted to stop the gathering. So Jesus agreed to stop, and he went to the temple, and he opened up the book of Moses, and he read, in thee and in thy seed shall all the nations of the earth be blessed. And then he closed the book and said, these words were spoken by the Lord of hosts unto our father Abraham, and Israel has been blessedness to all the world. And then he said, we are his seed, and not a tithe of the great work that we are called to do has been done. It's 10%. Not 10% of all the work we have been called to do has been done. The Lord of hosts set apart the Israelites to teach the unity of God and man. But one can never teach what he does not demonstrate in life. Okay. Our God is spirit, and in him all wisdom, love, and strength abide. In every man these sacred attributes are budding forth, and in due time they will unfold. The demonstration will be completed, and man will comprehend the fact of unity. So, recap. Not a tenth of the work that man is to do has been done. The energy of man in unity with God, and it is demonstrated through force, wisdom, and love, which we've been studying quite a bit this month, force, wisdom, and love. Spirit through God. Spirit is God. Spirit through us is God in matter. So, the work that has to be done is the understanding of unity with God, and the unity of God comes when the Spirit moves through matter. When Spirit moves through matter. I see you understand that so clearly. Let me talk about the Samaritans for a minute. Y'all know who they were. I'm going to remind you. The Samaritans were a group of Israelites that many, many years before Jesus, many hundreds of years before Jesus, the Israelites had separated into two camps, the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom. The northern kingdom was taken into captivity. The southern kingdom was taken into captivity. There were some people who were left behind to handle the vineyards, till the soil. And these Israelites that were left behind under the rulership of the conquering Assyrians mated with the conquering Assyrians, which was not good in their man-made culture. And they became Samaritans. And so when the southern tribes came back after their captivity, they do not like Samaritans. And guess what they would do to Samaritans? They shunned them. They wouldn't speak to them. They had nothing to do with them. Samaritans were not of the same equal status as these Israelites were, because they had merged with the conqueror. And you know the story of the Good Samaritan, where Jesus is saying the Good Samaritan. It was quite shocking to his audience that he would make a Samaritan the hero, because Samaritans were less than people. Yet I want you to hear something in the book. They have the book of Moses. They have the same teachings. They worship the same God, and they worship the same God in the same way. They did not lose their religion. They just didn't go to Jerusalem because they weren't welcomed in Jerusalem. They had their own temples and their own places. They did the same religion they'd always done. But because there was a ruling of some mind of organization separating them, they were now separate. You guys get it?
Yeah.
Okay. So, if we're going to understand God and I are one, and we're going to understand mankind is all one with God, what do we need to do with the precepts of those that came before us? And the idea of any man that separates any child of God from any status is man-made, right? Think of all those sweet kids in Salt Lake. They were sweet kids. They would have loved me. As a matter of fact, when they found out I was moving, several of them came and told me their issues, that they were not allowed to speak out loud. Because they had some, I won't say a heathen, they had a non-religious person they could confide in. That was kind. That was kind. We can never understand unity with God unless we understand unity with man and put down any precepts of separation. And that was the first thing Jesus was demonstrating when he was in Samaria. Don't you know his disciples are going, oh, she's at it again. You know, because if this gets out to the people in Jerusalem, we're in trouble. You know? So he was really stirring things up. And I want you to really think about it. How often do we still allow the precepts of predecessors to dictate our behavior? The precepts of religion or hierarchy or anything to dictate how we view God and man. Okay? All right. When you tell people that we are all children of God, they'll go, yeah, but. And there are differences in consciousness. We have different levels of awareness. There are differences in consciousness, but not different levels of God's children. That's what we need to understand. We may not be working on the same issues with someone. They may have their plow in the field and we might be partying on the corner. We may not be working on the same thing. We may be focused on different things, different levels of awareness of God, different levels of consciousness. There are not different levels of God's children. Say, I got that. You guys really got it?
Yes.
Okay. All right. In order to really see everyone as God's child, we have to begin to see them as spirit and not respond to their agenda. Because typically when we're out in the world, don't we look at people's agendas instead of their spirit? When David was a young man, high school, we tried to go to dinner, he and I, just to have a little chat once a week. That would be our intention. And he would say to me constantly, Mom, you were mean to that waitress. I go, what do you mean I was mean to the waitress? I was just trying to find what I could eat, always having these dietary specialties. He goes, but Mom, she's a person first, not your servant. Because I would sit down and go, okay, what you got? Okay, what's vegetarian, blah, 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 and I would start my litany of questions before I even said, hello, how are you? That was my agenda, wasn't it? And the wait help was always nice to me, but it embarrassed him to death. You're not seeing them. Take a minute to see them, Mom. And every time he'd go, I'd go, okay, yeah. How often do we do that? How often do we let our agenda make us not see someone or respond to their agenda instead of who they are? All right. Spirit asked me to share this with you. Agenda is different than purpose. Purpose is when we get this beautiful energy that wants to express through us. Agenda is how we express it. So how often do we get this beautiful energy that wants to express through us, a divine idea from God, and then we try to put a human agenda on it? And how often does it go like this, rickety, rickety, rickety? Instead of letting that beautiful purpose flow through, and then let God handle all the details as well. If God gave you a divine purpose to flow, don't you think the details are going to come as well? Or did God forget? Or maybe God doesn't know. Maybe we need to do it this way because God forgot we needed to do it that way. Instead of just flowing. Do you hear the difference? Okay? And I know that every one of you says, I got that, Cindy. I know you do. But I absolutely know that every time you get a divine idea, the first thing you do is create a human agenda. And then you have problems, and then you hit walls, and then you have to pry your hands away from it. And you have to come back to square one and say, God gave it to me, so God will make it happen. Okay. Unity of God and you. Unity of God and you. All right. We are always apt to put the human agenda on the divine purpose. The divine expression is typically what you have not done before. Therefore, typically, you don't know how it's supposed to happen. It's a divine expression. So you flow with it. You flow with it. Say, I got that. Got that. All right. So if we're going to start moving into unity with man, unity with God, understanding unity with man, the first step is recognizing the spirit in another person, recognizing their spirit. God is spirit, they are spirit. And don't get caught in their agenda. Don't see through your agenda. All right? Be kind. Be kind. Even when you see people with agendas, be kind. Let them feel kindness just walk through here. I see you're working on something. I see you working on something. I have no opinion. That's yours. You're learning something. I'm just going to walk through in a kind spirit. Now, I'm not judging anything you're doing. I'm just recognizing your spirit and saying, good for you. Let me just walk through and be kind. We also have to give space for our light to shine. That's the second step. So, think about when you take a job. Everybody does something, right? How often when you take a job, do you immediately ask the people in charge every detail of how you're supposed to respond? Oh, come on, you do. How did you do that? How do you do this? How do we do that? How do we do that? How you want me? What are your expectations of me? This is what I'm going to do for you. Okay, great. Now I'm tucked up under your expectations of me. I'm taking all my beautiful divine energy and I'm going to serve you the way you want me to serve you. Do you see what you're doing to your divine energy? You're tucking it up under some preconceived concept. I don't care if you're a waitress. I don't care what your job is. You can breathe bigger. You say, great, I understand exactly what your expectations of me are. Now let me just be with God for a minute. Let me be with that. I'm just going to let God flow through me and I'm going to still comply with what you need, but I'm going to be creative and joyful and alive and let God move through me and let God move through your business. It's going to be amazing. Yes. People that are extremely happy in their job do that very thing. Back in the day when I was young and I did accounting, I go into any business. Accounting's accounting, right? Yeah. What's your industry? What are you handling? Accounting's accounting. So, and I actually started when it was still manual. So I go in, I say, okay, tell me what your procedures are. In a matter of 2 weeks, we were clean, we were functioning, and it was great. And it was divinely inspired and guided to clean things up, to get things going. There's no more holes in the system. Because God would show me, not because I knew, God would show me, hey, look over here, and look over there, and look over there, and look over there. And we would flow. But if you can bring God into accounting, you can bring God into anything. You know? So we don't take the precepts of God, we don't take the prescribed ideas and just buckle under it. We bring God to it. We bring our divineness to it. Do you see? Unity of God with man, we can't turn God off when we go to work. We can't turn God off when you're fighting with your spouse. How many want to do that?
At least ask him not to look.
Don't watch God. So we have to consciously create space in our world for the divine to move through us so we can be spirit. So we can be spirit. All right. We also have to allow our uniqueness to flow. We were being spirit for our job, that's great. But aren't you kind of crazy unique too? Aren't there bits of you that are kind of interesting? We have to have a space to let that shine. We have to have a space so we can step out in our uniqueness. The unique light, the understanding that we don't have to comply with ideas. Spirit was showing me this example. You know how you might go to someone's house and their cat will come up to you and their cat will go and walk away? And you might say, hey, your cat just growled at me, hissed at me. And the friend would say to you, that's how the cat shows they like you. And in your mind, what do you say? No, most of us would say, oh, okay. Most of us would accept the cat's behavior because it turned and walked away. Oh, it growls at people and it likes them. Okay. Most of you would. Oh. You wouldn't? Oh, I see. I would give an animal the right to be unique. But do we give humans the right to be unique? We don't give humans the right to be unique. Oh, that's a little interesting. Oh, my. You know? Do you ever just say that's just how they are? Yeah. Someone says blah, blah, I said, yeah, that's just Patrick. You deal. If it's good, great. If it's challenging, work it out. He's a good guy. You know, that's just Cindy. She's wild that way. That's just Cindy. Just let her go. She gets excited. You know? We need to give space for us to be unique and to be different. To be ourselves. I want everybody take a deep breath right now and just relax into your own body right now. And say, I am good being me. How does it feel? And yet when someone says something to you to assess you, don't you go, oh, am I broken? Uh-oh. Something's wrong with me. I'm good being me. I'm good being me. Can you feel that? If you are good being you, and you let your uniqueness flow, your uniqueness, how much deeper can God move through you? You know? How much deeper can Spirit move through you when you're letting your Spirit express? All right. So those are the 3 steps. Be unique, give space for your light to shine every minute, and recognize the Spirit in your brother man. Okay? All right. Be aware of your agenda and be aware of your purpose. And if your purpose is to be happy today, don't put an agenda around it. Let Spirit guide you. If you have an agenda, you will drive yourself by that, and you will judge others for theirs. Okay. Be that kindness that walks. I wanted to finish this in the Aquarian, 84. All right, he said, in every man, we need to rise to own these qualities of God. And the rulers of the synagogue and you priests are honored servants of the Lord of hosts. All men are looking unto you for guidance in ways of life. Example is another name for priest. So what you would that people be, that you must be. We were in the airport yesterday at the international terminal, and I'm watching everybody. A lot of people have their phones, and Patrick and I are just watching people, and I said, hey, honey, everybody looks so sad. He goes, honey, they're tired. And I went, oh, yeah, international travel, they're probably tired. And then I realized that I'm looking at these people, and I am not smiling. I'm not smiling. I am not being the light either. They're probably looking at me going, what's wrong with her? Why is she so serious? And I caught myself realizing sadness, they're sad was my opinion of their vibration. Tired might have been the physical, but they're children of God. And I caught this one young girl's eye, and she's looking at me just as serious as I'm looking at her. She's probably 13. And I smiled, and I laughed, and she's playing with her little sister, and I realized, I'm sending love to everybody I see. So I started to smile at people. They didn't necessarily respond to me or acknowledge my presence, but their light lit. They got lighter. They got lighter. I had to turn my light on to actually be who I am. You know, because as I'm looking at them, I need to counsel all these people. No, I don't. I need to be the light and just send love to them. And know that they're beautiful God children on a wonderful adventure. And hold that for all of them. But we'll all catch ourselves, and we're pondering maybe an agenda that we see or something that we see. And we have to remember, we need to be the example. And remember, Jesus said, in the New Age, which is where we are today, everyone will be his own priest. So you all need to be your own priest, your own light, and be the example of what you want to create in the world for everyone, to hold that energy and that light. So, and the final thing that he said, a simple godly life may win 10,000 souls to purity and right. Not saying a word, just the vibration of a simple godly life. How beautiful is that? Can we do that? Can we do that? And that again starts with seeing the Spirit in all and not their agenda, or seeing it but not responding to it. Realizing that no matter what we are doing, there is space for God in it. And then in those moments when that little unique aspect of you, that crazy part of you that wants to sing a song from 1967, comes up, do it. Do it. Because our uniqueness will come. It may be spurts and spits and spats. It may not be all the time, but it will come and it will thrive and it'll be. And then you will be amazing. Because our job is to become extraordinary. Our job is to become extraordinary. And in following the love of God, the light of God, our spirit, and not the precepts of man, that is the only path to becoming that extraordinary person on the planet. Say, I want to be that. Yeah. All right, put your feet on the floor. Father, Mother God, I ask that your light fill this room. And I ask each one of you just to feel a sense of peace around you. And let your focus go inward to your own heart. Whatever vibration or visual you see when you just let your focus, like your inner eye, see the heart, the energy of your heart, whatever you see, I want you to call it good. In this heart is the vibration of God. In this heart is love, wisdom, and power. Now I want you to look at the heart and just ask it to demonstrate or to show you or to vibrate now in a way that shows you your uniqueness. I would like to see just a moment of my uniqueness. And just watch what happens. Feel what happens. If you're not visual, you may just sense something. And send a thought to what you just experienced. It is good. I am good. Now take a breath and send love out into the auric field, into your body, out into your energy field. Feel that you are God's child. And you are good. And let your vision now just move to the energy around you. You may see a color. You may just feel. And I want you in your heart to claim this space. I claim all that I am for my spirit. I release anything else I carry. I'm God's child. Take a breath. Father, Mother God, I ask that your light enfold us all of the beautiful glowing lights. Lift us up into that beautiful space of peace, where we can know that we can move mountains on this planet, where we can know, as your child, we can do anything. And I want you guys to feel that heightened energy, feel that you are at home. And we thank you for this, God. And I want you to stay in that heightened energy. Stay in the heightened energy. Feel your body, feel your chair, feel your awareness in the light. And take a breath and gently open your eyes. How do you feel? Do you feel heightened? And enlightened. Well, let us go forth this week, being the light, being so unique. Do something uniquely crazy you at least 2 or 3 times. Okay, all right, we've got some agreement. And remember, purpose, not agenda. Say yay, God.